Hello and welcome to Automotive Grace. We are back. It is springtime in the United Kingdom and we are at the Practical Classics Classic and Restoration Show at the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham. There are two major shows here in Birmingham, the Classic and Restoration Show and then the Classic and Sports Car Show, which is towards the end of the year. But the focus of this show is restoration classics, and they have a section called Barnfinds where cars that have been dragged out of sheds and bushes are displayed, and there's always something really interesting to look at. And as part of that display we have old Blue here, been dragged out of the garage. I haven't started the restoration yet, so I submitted an application to display it here, which they accepted, and well, here we are. So yeah, I will show you around and give you a feel of what the Classic and Restoration Show is all about. Now, if you are seeing any adverts on YouTube, I just want to remind you that this is a non-commercial channel, and any adverts have been placed there by YouTube, and I have no control over that, nor do I get any benefit from it. So I apologize if it interferes with your viewing, but yeah, what can you do? It's still a fantastic platform, and yeah, let's have a look around. Now, the Classic and Restoration Show is a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm just whipping the camera out now before the great mob of public come in. This is prior to the doors being opened, so all the exhibitors are here faffing around with their cars, and you know, when the crowds get here, it gets pretty crowded and it's difficult to get a good shot of all the cars. So I thought I would just walk around with the camera here and show you Blue and the Barnfinds before all the people arrive. Triumph Dolomite Sprint here, for those of the Toronto Triumph Club that are watching. The Sprint is quite a cool car. It was the top of the range for the Dolomite, and it has the 2-litre 16-valve Triumph engine, which goes really well. This one needs a bit of work. Now, the Classic and Restoration Show is a combination of professionally restored cars, professional restoring companies, car clubs, the Barnfinds section, of course, and there's also a huge Autojumble section and a trader village where you can buy bits and pieces for your car. But the part that I really enjoy, and I'll get a quick picture here, is there are people actively restoring cars here during the show. So you may have a club or a group, they've brought their car here, and they'll be working on their car and you can watch them do it. There's also a stage where we have, you know, like Mike Brewer from Wheeler Dealers having a discussion and a few other experts. And then there's also an area where people will demonstrate restoration techniques, and they will go through techniques and you can then watch them and ask them questions. But yeah, my favorite bit is the live restorations. Hi.
but I'm not absolutely sure.
Like yellow, isn't it? So you can do a yellow one or a shiny. Probably.
Okay, I'm now a bit envious. This would be a very cool thing to have. A rollover jig for a Mini. For those who don't know, the sponsors of the show, Practical Classics, is a classic car magazine featuring practical classics. And there's always a wheeler dealer stand here, and Mike Brewer almost always attends these sorts of events. And there he is right there with his back towards us.
I have got a price.
Well, if you don't like tiny cars and you prefer bigger cars, how about this American La France? Now, you remember when I was saying how solid my Mini is as a restoration project? Well, not all Minis are quite as solid as I will show you now.
I have actually entered the competition.
Maybe I'm a bit negative, but I would call this unsalvageable. Well, you can see things have picked up considerably, and just bear in mind that this is a Friday, so not the busiest day. But yeah, all looking good. Now, as is usual with the Resto show and the Classic Car show later in the year, there is also an associated auction. And I'll just walk you around the auction site. Some pretty cool stuff here. So yeah, don't bring your wallet. Beautiful 37 Jaguar SS, 2.5 rather than a 3.5, but the estimate is 20 to 25, which, well, to put it into perspective, that's good Triumph TR6 money. Yeah, it seems like fantastic value. Well, there's definitely something for everybody. Whatever you like or don't like, it's here on auction. And there we have a lovely split screen camper van.
Oh yeah.
1966 left-hand drive. Little few little rough spots. Bench seat, left-hand drive. It also has the deluxe trim, which is the trim panel here, the aluminium. That's not standard because this isn't a deluxe. And you can tell by the fact that it's an 11 window. It has white door pulls and no clock in the dashboard. (1960) Mini, still Austin 7 badge, really early model. Estimated 8 to 10. Looks fairly solid, not immaculate by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, that's what they're going for, 8 to 10, without being immaculately restored. So quite a few Minis here, obviously very popular. Some projects as well if you're interested. This is a lovely 57 Jensen 541. Fantastic car. Fiberglass body, so no crazy metalwork needed, as long as the chassis is good. But this looks like quite a big restoration. Well, at the show here, you also do bump into some South Africans, like this beautiful Sierra XR8, a South African-only homologation special. South Africa never got the Cosworth Sierra, so they basically built their own with a Mustang V8 engine in. Very successful in motorsport, remember watching many races. And looks like, oh, there's the beast itself. Bit of a very British thing. It's called Sporting Bears. It's an organization that collects funds for charity. But what they do is they have volunteers come and bring their cars, and for a small fee donation to charity, you get to pick any one of these cars and they'll take you for a drive. You'll see there's quite a selection, whatever you're into.
You're not going to buy a car unless you really want to.
Day 2 at the Classic and Resto show, and being a Saturday, it's definitely busier on a Saturday. At the end of the show, I'll go through the cost involved and whether I recommend coming to the show or not. But yeah, definitely busier on a Saturday. Lots of fantastic cars here on show. And we're here today with George.
Hello.
George, who you know from his Datsun 240Z and Citroen DS.
That's right.
Yeah. Favorite car so far?
Renault 5 Turbo.
Oh yes. Beautifully restored Renault 5 Turbo. Totally impractical.
Absolutely.
No back seats, no boot. But how cool is that?
Absolutely.
How cool is that? We're at Richard Hammond's smallest cog. Yeah, Richard Hammond, I think, is really going all in with the classic car restoration, and his company, the smallest cog. And yeah, it's amazing wherever Richard Hammond goes, there's a crowd. I guess the same applies to Jeremy Clarkson, James May. Very popular guys. Part of our childhood growing up, of course, with Top Gear, so we're associated with a lot of good times. So, day 2, what was your favorite, George?
I think it's still the Renault 5 Turbo.
Okay, I think we'll be forced to make a quick swing by the Renault 5 Turbo to show you what we're talking about. So that was your favorite in show, even better than the Lotus?
Yeah, I did like the Lotus as well, actually. It's a close call. Probably the Lotus a bit more practical.
Yeah. I think what we should do is buy one of each. That'll be good. But yeah, a good day out. This is the Renault 5 Turbo George was going on about. It is super cool. It's mid-engined, no rear seats. If you look in here, you can see, well, yeah, no place for passengers. What a cool looking thing.
So this was made on top of plywood, so we cut out where the...
Also worth noting is that although most of the Autojumble and Classic traders do take cards, there are a few of them, the smaller stands, that don't take cards and take cash only. And they're probably the ones you're more likely to find a really good deal on a small piece for your car. So I would say just bring a bit of cash with you as well on the off chance. But food, everything else, most vendors do take card. There are a couple that don't. Yeah, so day 2, successful look around with George. Good fun to see things through other people's eyes. And every time we go, we find something more interesting that we didn't notice before. Well, it's the 3rd and final day here at the Practical Classics Classic and Restoration Show at the NEC in Birmingham. And I must say, this is definitely the show for me because It's not too massive. There's 2.5 halls worth of things here. It's not too crowded the way the NEC Classic and Sports Car Show is at the end of the year. And you have real practical, how can I say, cars that one could actually own without breaking the bank. You're not going to find Lamborghinis here or Bugattis or that sort of thing. People are having fun. Everyone is really friendly. Everyone is working away on their cars, which is kind of nice to see. It's not just a place where people polish their cars up and show them. You can see here the doors have just opened. Everyone's already working away at their restorations.
So I said, probably the only thing I'd be able to do
Thank you.
see if they have any free room.
So yeah, it's really fun to see people pottering around on their cars, getting their hands dirty, and seeing some very interesting cars. The Autojumble and Trade section is also very good, right from small traders, second-hand, used parts. Definitely if you're a Ford guy, 60s, 70s, 80s Fords, you'll get whatever you want for your car here, because there are a lot of Ford focused stands with second-hand and new parts. From a trade perspective, there's not a tool you cannot buy here, and very few bits of equipment for car restoration, whether that will be rotisseries or sanding or buffing or paint, brake line makers, fasteners, you name it. Everything is available here. So it is really a one-stop show for anybody interested in classic cars. Yeah, here's the brake line guy. He does demonstrations all day long, showing how to, bend pipes and straighten pipes and put fitments in and that sort of thing. There's also new equipment vendors here, like Draper and Sealy, selling all sorts of new tools and gadgets. So a little bit of things for everything. Of course, garage storage as well. All kinds of garage solutions, whether that be floors or cabinets or heaters, food vendors, of course, for when you get hungry. One of my favorites, the Krusty Pie Company. I do like a good pie. And wheels and tires, of course, compressors, well, anything. And of course, there is a good third to a half of one of the halls dedicated to the auction, and there are some beautiful, beautiful cars in the auction. Walking around with George yesterday, a Porsche 911 Carrera, Porsche 911 SC in red, just stunning. I think he was almost ready to go mortgage his house, and his wife was strangely in favor. So yeah, lucky guy. But yeah, lots of really interesting things on auction here, and I was a bit surprised there were cars that were accessible. If you were looking for a car in the 20 to 30,000 pound mark, you could walk away with absolute gems. You could buy a BMW 840 coupe, Bentley Arnage or Turbo R, Rolls Royces, and of course some very nice Triumphs, Triumph TR6s, Triumph Vitesse, little car that I've always liked, Vauxhall VX220s. There were 3 of them on auction, so it'll be interesting to watch the results tomorrow and see what they all eventually went for. Also, one that I really like is this little Mark 1 Golf GTI, Champagne edition with the Pirelli wheels. Yeah, stunning. So yeah, very interesting. You will get charged £10 to get into the auction and walk around. They frame it as, well, that's the cost of the brochure or auction catalogue. I think it's just a bit of a money maker, but it is worth £10 to go and have a walk around and have a closer look at the cars, and you can see all the little blemishes on some and the perfection in others. So yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. It's one of those something for everyone's. You're not going to find, as I said, high-end things on auction here, which makes it all feel a little bit more friendly and accessible. So really what I'm saying is this is a very enjoyable show, and if you ever get the opportunity to come to the Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show, it is definitely worth visiting. But now let me get to the downside. Ticket prices, not too bad. £34 or something for an adult for the day. I think it's 50 something if you want a weekend pass, which is worth it in my view. So that's not the problem. The problem is parking. When you come here, you have no option but to park in the NEC car park. And the price is, wait for it, £18.95 a day, which I just feel is a total rip-off. So you come, you pay your £34 for the ticket, and after your £18.95, it's over £50 for the day. That just feels like a rip-off, and it just makes me a bit annoyed. If I was coming here myself in a car for the day, I would think twice about coming just because of that £18.95 cost to park the car, which, I mean, I just don't feel like, I don't like feeling ripped off, and that feels like a rip-off. So it's up to you. I would say as an exhibitor we get free parking and free access, which is nice. But if you are coming, I would suggest either come by train, because the train station is right at the NEC, or come with a group of people, 4 or 5 people in a car, and you can spread out the cost of parking. But to come here by yourself in a car and pay £18.95 a day for parking, it just grinds my gears a little bit, because I think that's taking advantage of a captive audience here. So yeah, give it some thought. Might be worth it to you, but yeah, it just seems extortionate. You be the judge. So if you are restoring your car and originality is important to you, at this kind of show you will find a lot of new old stock for your car. So for example here, brake equipment, none of this is reproduction. This is all new old stock. So you can really get that originality factor in your car, which of course is very important, because the reproduction stuff just isn't the same quality as the original. The doors have only just opened to the public, so it's still quite quiet here. But, if you're thinking of coming, if you're thinking of coming, opening hours on a Friday are 10 till 5, and on Saturday and Sunday are 9 till 6. So yeah, you can get a good long full day if you just come for a day. And it's big enough, or rather small enough, that you can see absolutely everything in one full day. Get here early and walk around and look at every little tiny thing. And yeah, you can see everything. This is what I would call the main hall. This is the first hall that you come into when you come into the show. A lot of commercial stands selling different products, right from dealers to restoration specialists to garage equipment providers to artists. Yeah, a little bit of everything. It also has the main stage at the back there where they have regular interviews with celebrities and specialists throughout the day. Saab Sonnet, very rare, very special car. Lovely to see one. What a great color as well. And if you like Saabs, Barnfinds, if you're watching and you're getting Saab withdrawal symptoms, well, there's some beautiful examples here. I think this estate will have to be my favorite. Wow, that's nice. Morning. Mercedes 560 SEC. Very, very nice.
Just a second, I'm just knotting it still. Alright, I'm going to come up at that now.
Well, it's getting to the end of day 3, and I must say I've really enjoyed myself. I highly recommend coming to the show if you're into cars and classic cars and restorations. Just be aware again, it's about £35 for a ticket, well worth it in my view, but £18.95 for parking, which I think is a total rip-off. So either come by train, because the train station is right at the National Exhibition Centre, or come as a group in a car to share the cost a little bit. That might make it a bit better. But yeah, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've got a good taste of what's available here at the NEC Classic Car Show. It's not only cars you need a restoration. There's lots of nice shiny cars as well. The auction is very interesting. As I said, the type of person who comes to the NEC Classic and Resto show, you can see why the Lamborghini Jalpa, for example, didn't sell. The SX Lotus Esprit didn't sell either. So I think this is more of a attainable vehicle, classic vehicle show. So there's bound to be something that you like. There's plenty that I like. And yeah, had a good fun showing off Blue. There's been a lot of interest, and I'm motivated to then get stuck in and started. If there's anything I haven't covered, please mention in the comments below, and I'll try and address it to the best of my ability. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and follow the restoration of Blue behind me. And yeah, we'll get it up and running and in pristine condition. Looking forward to that. Thanks. Take care. Bye.